Hey, welcome to the shop. Today we're doing some flux core welding with a basic entry-level machine. And when you're welding, there are a lot of things to pay attention to, a lot of things that can go wrong, but more often than not, fixing one thing will make a huge difference and turn your welds from this into something like this. Now, I've fielded a ton of questions online and helped a lot of people run their first welds, and more often than not, about 80% of the time, the issue with flux core is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to tack up a T-joint here at each corner and then go ahead and run a weld like I see so often. So I'm lining up here, I'm using a nice drag angle like I should, but if you look under the hood here, what you'll see is what most people see when they get started. There's a bright light, and you trace that along the joint. Just like if you had a saw and you're cutting along a line, it makes your cut. But with welding, it's not quite that straightforward. And this is the result. It just looks like a bunch of boogers on there, and it's really not going to be very strong at all. But the problem is pretty simple to fix. So the question that I get when people run into a weld like this that they send me over and over again is, what do I need to change with my settings? Well, I'm here to tell you that your settings are probably fine. If you use the manufacturer's recommendation on the chart, as long as it's, reasonable quality machine, it'll work fine. Look at this right here. I'm moving much more slowly. Now, this can be a real challenge when you're starting out, and the reason is time kind of warps or slows down when you're under the hood, you're in all your gear, and it feels a little bit awkward at first, and so you tend to move fast. But here, I'm just camping out and moving slowly, especially with these little budget-friendly flux core machines. You've got to move pretty slow. With industrial machines and flux core, you can really fly, but not with these. So look right here how much better that filled in. It looks a lot better. Now, there's some inconsistency in the width there, just a little bit, and this is a result of my own travel speed not being perfectly consistent. So I ran one more without a camera in the way just to be able to take a look at it, and here it is. So that's pretty consistent for just a budget-friendly flux core. So if the issue is travel speed, how can you really dial in your travel speed without having to run a weld and then look at it and be like, oh, I went too fast, or run a weld and oh, I went too slow? You do it by learning to read the puddle. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is that first weld, and I exaggerated this a little bit. You wouldn't usually do quite this bad. But anyway, notice there isn't really a puddle to be seen. You just see the bright light of the arc and trace along. Now here on the second one, see that bright circle right there? That's the molten weld pool. That's what you need to watch right there. And follow that along. And imagine you have a glass of water that you're filling up, and you're just keeping your finger right on the tip of the water as it rises and following it along. That's all I'm doing here. I just stay right up on the front edge of the puddle. Now, I'll point out right now that I have a pretty short stick out with that, and that's because I'm using 0.030 wire or 0.8 millimeter wire. If I had larger flux core wire, often you need a longer stick out to preheat it, but I don't in this case. So the best way to get used to seeing the puddle, because a lot of people tell me I can't see it, is to run a drill. So here, I'm just stacking beads on a plate. I run it on a flat plate, and this is some practice to look for that weld puddle. And then after you finish, you get rapid feedback. So look at this. You can see at the start, it's too fast, and then slowed down, and it went better. So now I can run another one, and another, and another. And this gets boring. And when it gets boring, that's when you can start to get good. So notice here, I'm experimenting with a little bit of a weave. You can try different things. So this is a good exercise to just stack a bunch of beads on plate and get used to it. Now, let me show you how you might test your welds. Now, obviously, this one isn't going to be very good, but if you have a weld you're not sure about, an easy way to test it is with a brake test. Notice there's no weld on the backside. So I'm putting this in and bending open from the root of the joint, and this is really going to stress it, and it'll test the weld. And with material, this is 1/8 inch or 3 millimeter thick material. With this, the material should really bend rather than breaking the weld, and you can see that's not happening at all. The weld's breaking right open. Now, if you have thicker material, even with a sound weld, it'll often break open. But that doesn't mean that you failed the test. You'll get a look at the fracture surface and see if you had a weld that made it all the way down to the root of the joint. Obviously, in this case, it was barely hanging on by a thread. It's really pretty surprising, though, how much strength you get for how very little weld that was, but certainly not something that I would want for anything more than maybe probably don't want it for anything. So this right here is the better weld, and notice that as I pound on this, it's just springing back. It's not giving way at all. So we can keep working on it a little bit. And I'm doing this with a hammer. Often with a brake test, you'll actually use a lever and pull them instead of using a hammer like this, but that doesn't work for everybody, and this can give you a pretty good idea. So when you're bending it around like that, bending it open at the root, and you can see it didn't give at all. Here I'll just show a bend test, just pulling on this with a couple of wrenches. Once again, with this thinner material, it should bend over really. If you had this, 1/4 inch thick or 3/8 thick, it would probably break even with an acceptable weld, but you'd be able to see that fracture surface. So it's a good way to just check your work. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. I support these videos with my online courses, and if you are just starting out, I think they could help you out a lot. See, you can learn a lot by watching videos like this, and you get the knowledge that you need, but what you don't get is the ability to walk through a step-by-step program with just a quick video and introduction to a topic, and then a practice exercise to really reinforce that so you master it before moving on to the next. I've had thousands of people who've gone through the courses. It's worked really well for them, been extremely effective, and I think it could help you out a lot. And if you aren't happy with it, just shoot me an email. I'll give you your money back. No hard feelings at all. Thanks a ton for tuning in. We'll see you next time.